Okay, let's go. Less than 60 minutes to go. India takes on Zimbabwe in Chennai. Joining me on the show is Vaibhav, and soon Gargi will also join us from Chennai. My name is Ashok Nambudri, and you're watching Rev Sports. Before we go to Chennai, I'm just looking at the West Indies versus South Africa match. Vaibhav, I'm sure you're tracking it as well. And South Africa need 18 runs in 33 balls to win that match. It looks like Aiden Markram and Quinton de Kock have made India's role very, very clear. For everyone who was doing all the math and the analysis of the net run rate and the scenarios and what India needs to do to get into the semi-finals, I think it's pretty much now that South Africa is going to steal a march over West Indies, and all that India needs to do is to win the two matches. First thoughts, Vaibhav?
Yeah, I think everybody will be relieved in Chennai. It is like 1800 odd kilometers away from Ahmedabad, but I'm sure both teams, in fact, Zimbabwe and India, must be having their eyes on the match that is still going on. But I think it's just a mere formality now. 18 of 33. I don't think that anything will happen from here. It's a clear-cut victory for South Africa, and it's a comprehensive win again. And it's a big. It will be a big dent to the net run rate of West Indies. So I think this will play into India's hands, and I think now India's road becomes slightly easier. If South Africa would have won this game, then it would have been very difficult for India to qualify for the semi-finals. Now I think the equation is pretty simple: beat Zimbabwe, beat West Indies at Eden Gardens, and then qualify for the semi-finals. So I think now the road is clear. South Africa have made India's life a little easier, and this is what this is what everyone was hoping for, all the Indian supporters. I was just looking at the counting the number of t-shirts that I could see on the TV screens, how many Indians turned up to support South Africa, and there were plenty of South African jerseys in Ahmedabad. So they also know what is the scenario, so they were supporting South Africa, and I think the
Perfect.
prayers have been heard.
Yeah, let's go across to Gargi. Gargi, I hope you can hear us. Weber was just talking about the number of T-shirts cheering Indian T-shirts cheering the South Africa game in Ahmedabad. But what's the scenario out in Chennai? I can see you are out on the streets and there's a lot of traffic, a lot of excitement. Looks like. Gargi?
Very chirpy out here, very colorful and exuberant, because that's what Chennai brings. I've had a lovely time here. And at the match as well, there is a performance that is going on right now. And sorry I could not join earlier. You can see how far I walked. There's the stadium. So that's pretty far. But I finally found some internet. As you can tell, even though I'm this far, you can see the amount of people that are there outside and eagerly waiting for the match, because this is going to be a good contest. Even though the team isn't as strong as South Africa, Zimbabwe may not be at the same level, but at the same time, India today will be under pressure, and it's a do or die game. Even the next game is do or die, and at this point, it seems like South Africa will possibly win the game. So that makes things easier for the Indian team. I think the players will walk out with a lot of relief. Maybe they've not been told yet, but I'm not sure about that. At least the management that knows that will be, having a sigh of relief and then go out there and play good cricket. There are some changes expected, but I'm sure you'll ask me that later.
Yeah, Gargi, but tell us, what's the mood like? What are the fans saying? What do they expect this contest to look like? How's the mood overall? Gargi, can you hear us? Okay, I think there's some issue there. Gargi, you're on mute.
Please repeat the question.
Yeah. Gargi, I'm saying that before we jump into the strategy and the tactics for today, what's the mood like? What are the fans saying?
Mood is quite good, actually. Everyone's excited for the game here. Everyone does believe that India will still go through and are the favorites to win this tournament, because after that South Africa game, there was a bit of a stumble and people did lose faith. But at the same time, a lot of people are asking for some changes in the team. From the fans I've spoken to, they want changes to be there. They want Atilak Verma out of the team, but they want to see Rinku Singh as well. We will see what happens here with the combination because we are expecting Singh to sit this one out. But at the same time, excitement is lovely and it's pleasant weather as well. So fans will have a good time watching this game.
Great. Shamik also joins us. Shamik from Candy. Shamik, your screen was bright and sunny a little
Now
while
it's
back.
okay.
I hope you can hear us. Yes, yes. Okay, great. So we were just talking about the fact that South Africa has made the equation pretty much straightforward. They have less than 7 runs to win the match against West Indies, and so the path ahead for India is pretty clear. First view, Shomik. Can you hear us? Shomik, we can't hear you.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ashok. I'm trying to basically now I can because internet since last night here has become patchy because there was a strong wind and some cables got snapped. So I'm outside. I was just before coming here. I was doing. I was recording the Pakistan thing, a news copy, recording a video on that. So the internet, it is intermittent. Connection has become a bit intermittent. But coming to, if you please can come again, Ashok, with your question. I couldn't hear it properly.
Yeah, I was saying that South Africa is now one hit away from winning the match against West Indies. And for all the people who are doing all the complex maths around net run rate and what India needs to do, the task is very clear, right? India just needs to go and win those 2 matches. So I was asking, what are your first thoughts regarding this?
First thoughts, India are making 2 changes today. Akshar Patel and Sanju Samson coming in, Rinku Singh and Washington Sundar going out. These are the 2 changes India have been making. And Ashok, you might remember uh, when we did that 12 live after the day India lost against South Africa, I said on live on that very day that Rinku Singh will be dropped. It is not nothing related to family issues or anything. He will be dropped, and a couple of changes would be made for this game. Now the equation is straightforward. This game is nothing. Zimbabwe, India should. I mean, sometimes I don't know whether I am going into the sun. Brightness and darkness is playing peekaboo with him, with me. But the thing is that uh, India will win against Zimbabwe. It's about upping the net run rate. But now net run rate is not an issue. It's a straight knockout against West Indies at Eden Gardens, and I back India to win that game and qualify for the semi-finals. So I was watching a bit of this South Africa versus West Indies game. First, they suffered a batting collapse, and given West Indies is bowling, I don't think India should be bothered. India should be bothered, and Eden Gardens has always been a high-scoring ground. You can chase down 200 even. I don't think Eden Gardens will change its nature. The pitch will not change its nature. So from that point of view, right now after these results, India, of course, South Africa will top Group 1, but India are now one of the firm favorites to qualify for the semi-finals, although as the second place team.
Perfect. Vaibhav, I'll come to you in a minute, but I want to go back to Gargi. Gargi, I hope you can hear us. So I'm going to basically go straight into the questions that I'm sure the viewers will have. So, what are the changes that we're going to look at? What's going to be India's strategy? Who are they going to play? What's the take on the final playing 11? What are you hearing as well from the ground?
Well, see, the thing is, from the press conference that Sitanshu Kotak did, while he did not give away a lot of things, if you read between the lines, you will understand what the management is focusing on. He did say that the management is discussing the problems at the top of the order, which is the fact that India has too many left-handers, 3 left-handers at the top, and that is an issue that has been exploited over and over by teams. Putting on a right-arm off-spinner at the very start and getting the openers out cheaply has been a problem for India. So going forward, from the way that it looks like, Rinku Singh has had a very mentally challenging 48 hours. He's just come back to the squad last night. He's joined the squad, but it gives the management an opportunity to go ahead and rest him, maybe get him in the later parts of the tournament. but that gives you an opportunity to get a Sanju Samson in place of Rinku Singh. And if that happens, then your batting order looks like this: Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, and then a Tilak Verma at number 5. So if you're talking about power play, which is the most important part of T20 cricket, then it allows you to go more aggressively because you have a Tilak Verma to back you at number 5. So even if you lose early wickets, know that Tilak Verma is there, but at the same time, you will not lose out on the intent that has been missing at the top of the order.
What about Akshar Patel, Gargi? Before I go to the others, just quickly on Akshar Patel, what's the call looking like?
It is a change we're expecting. Washington Sundar makes way for Akshar Patel. Obviously, we saw in the last game as well. First of all, it did not make sense to have a Washington Sundar in your team. At the same time, then you got his entry point wrong. So there were a lot of tactical errors by the Indian management. At the same time, now you can bring in an Akshar Patel. And Akshar Patel has been a proven match winner for you in T20Is. Look back on the kind of performances that he has been able to deliver under pressure with the bat. So, and batting is an issue for India right now. You need someone lower down the order, that if you have a day like you had against South Africa, where Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dube did not fire, Akshar Patel can still go out there and get some aggression in. He is very good at intermittent aggression. He knows when to slow down, knows when to pick it up. So it solves a lot of problems if Akshar is in and Sanju is in.
All right, Weber, quick reactions to what Gargi said. You know that Sutanshu Kotak talking about the fact that there are 3 left-handed batsmen at the top order. Now, my question is that, India would have thought through a certain strategy going into the tournament. It's not that they would wake up at this stage, especially after one loss and say, okay, we have a problem. So is this something that, is something that they're discovering now? Is it a strategic issue? Is it a tactical issue? Ishan Kishan has kind of broken the door, entered and said, look, I'm a man in form and, therefore I deserve my place. So is it a good idea to kind of change that and bring in Sanju Samson? What's the message then that you are giving to the left-handed openers, for example?
See, I'm not very sure that where you will batter Sanju Samson. If you are bringing Sanju Samson, then obviously you will have to make him bat in the top order. And if you are replacing him with if you are replacing Rinku Singh, that means Tilak will be demoted to number 5 is what my guess is. Surya Kumar Yadav will stay at 4. It will be Sanju Samson coming in at number 3, and then Tilak Verma demoting to number 5. I think that's a bigger problem, because we know that Tilak Verma struggles against spin and he takes his time. So then there is a problem where you will not be able to score runs in the middle overs, which is a very crucial phase in a T20 game. So if Tilak Verma struggles at number 5, which has happened with MI, and that is why Surya Kumar Yadav he promoted him at top of the order, giving him his position at number 3, just because he also understands that Tilak buys his time before taking on the bowlers. And this has been a tournament where Tilak has been unable to convert those starts into big runs, and that's what their problem is. So I'm not very sure if the idea of bringing Tilak to number 5 and dropping Rinku Singh is a good idea. See, because Rinku Singh, we saw what he's capable of against Pakistan, the last over against Shaheen. So we know what Rinku Singh is capable. It's just that he hasn't got enough deliveries. Yes, you can say two opportunities he got, but he missed those. But it's about position. If I'm being position specific, I don't think it's a right idea to bring in Samson at 3 at the top of the order, and then dropping somebody like Tilak at 5 who struggles against spin. So you cannot make a batter bat at 5 or lower if he's struggling against spin. So I am not very sure about this tactic. Last game they got the entry points wrong. If they don't get their playing 11 today, if they are not going to get their playing 11 right today, then I think this will be a problem. Against Zimbabwe, still it's not a big issue. But as you go ahead in the tournament against big teams, like we saw against South Africa, big nation, quality opposition, we struggled. We got exposed with our entry points, with our tactics. Same thing shouldn't happen. I'm not very sure of this tactic of bringing back Sanju Samson, who is not even in good form, who is very underconfident, and again, square boundaries, he struggles against short pitch deliveries. Zimbabwe has 3 tall pacers. So I'm not very sure of this tactic.
Ashok, I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Yes,
but
Gandhi.
we have the result for the South Africa and West Indies game. South Africa has won by 9 wickets, a very comprehensive margin, and that makes things easier for the Indian team tonight. I'm sure the management will let the players know that they are in, that they are safe, that all they need to focus on now is to go out there and play some good cricket and make sure that they win this one comprehensively, because if they don't, that their NRR takes a hit and you don't want to leave anything up to permutations and combinations. Sri Lanka is out. Pakistan has a very slim chance. If I were to talk about that qualification, in order to qualify, Pakistan need England to beat New Zealand by a margin of 20 runs and also need to win against Sri Lanka. So those are very, very difficult conditions there. It's a slim chance. But yes, South Africa has won the match.
Gargi, I spot Chennai Super Kings jersey in the backdrop, and I was wondering why I haven't seen the yellow yet.
You will always have Chennai Super Kings here, always. And you know, I was some while ago, I actually joined the show 10 minutes early, but then I had to come so far out because the network wasn't allowing me. I was actually standing in front of the Dhoni Sports stall that is over there, the shop. And I wanted to do it in front of that, but internet did not allow me. But yes, Dhoni flavor will always remain. Just as Virat Kohli, just as Rohit Sharma, once again, we're seeing all the Indian jerseys are number 18. So that tells you a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, I understand technical difficulties on the field. Our reporters are jostling with that, but giving you all the live updates. Shomik, this question that I wanted to ask you now that, it's pretty much clear South Africa has won it, and therefore the equations are pretty much straightforward. Sri Lanka out. The task is very well cut out for Pakistan, England, and of course, India knows what needs to be done. So, how does this kind of change the thinking within the Indian camp?
Nothing, Ashok. It is pretty straightforward. They are going to win against Zimbabwe. If they don't win against Zimbabwe, they shouldn't play cricket. I mean, they are going to win against Zimbabwe, and I believe that would be by a big margin. Margin at this point in time is not that significant. It's a straight knockout between between India and the West Indies at Eden Gardens. Is a straight knockout. Win that match, qualify for the semi-finals. And if you look at look at the respective strengths of the two sides. West Indies played a brilliant game. West Indies have been playing very well in this tournament, but once faced against an elite opponent, that was South Africa, the chinks were exposed. And against India also, I don't back them to win. So India are one of the favorites along with South Africa. South Africa are all but through. India are one of the favorites as the second place team in Group 1 to qualify for the semi-finals. So it is very clear. Go out there, express yourself, enjoy, and that what Gautam Gambhir says, play fearless cricket. Over the last few matches, what we saw, India were not playing fearless cricket. And that could be the pressure of an ICC event. Pressure can, pressure is something different. It can get on you. Even the very best can be bogged down by pressure. So it could be the pressure of ICC event. But now you know what you have to do. Today, India are going to win, and then it's a straight knockout. So it's very clear. It's very clear. But I
Okay,
have.
but in terms of the lineup, what Vaibhav said, I want to ask you the same question, which is that Sanju Samson coming in, and Tilak Verma going to number 5. Now, we've always maintained that Rinku Singh is your specialist finisher, right? And therefore, to kind of replace him and say Tilak Verma goes to number 5, Sanju Samson coming in, predominantly because you've got 3 left-handers and you want to break that. Now, do you subscribe to this philosophy? Does it kind of add up in line with the thinking that India would have gone into the tournament?
See, India went into the tournament without a plan B. That's what have been hurting them. Basically, if you look at the top order, they don't have a plan B for if Abhishek Sharma he would have hit a lean patch, and that's exactly what happened. India didn't have a plan B, so they were sort of clueless what to do. Now they are bringing back Sanju Samson. Once Sanju Samson is back, he will open with Abhishek Sharma. Ishan Kishan will drop down to number 3. Surya is your number 4. Then if there is a good start, you have to send Hardik Pandya. So in that case, Tilak Verma will have to wait for his turn, because if India get a good start, then you cannot send Tilak Verma at number 5. It has to be Hardik to up the ante. So from that point of view, Tilak Verma would be sort of a floater when you are dropping Tilak Verma down the order. He becomes a floater like Akshar Patel in the batting order. So that is the thing. But as far as I am concerned, this is completely my personal thing. That is, I don't subscribe to this 8 batsman theory and playing Tilak Verma. I would have liked to see Kuldeep Yadav playing in place of Tilak Verma. If 7 batsmen are not doing the job, then number 8 will not do it. Simple. So you have a world class operator like Kuldeep Yadav warming the bench. Play him. You don't need 8 batsmen. You should not need 8 batsmen against Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, there's a gulf in class. India and Zimbabwe, there's a gulf in class. It's chalk and cheese. You should not need 8 batsmen. Play Kuldeep Yadav. And given their inexperience or lack of exposure, again top class, world class wrist spin, Kuldeep Yadav, Kuldeep Yadav could be devastating. So from that point of view, they will not do that. This team management believes in batting depth, but even with that batting depth, India's batting so far hasn't inspired confidence. From that point of view, I would have, but they will not do it. But Tilak Verma, once again, once he is dropping down the order, he becomes a floater. If there are a few early wickets, then Tilak Verma at number 5 could be handy. But I don't see India losing a few early wickets against Zimbabwe.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Vaibhav, a quick response to that point about Kuldeep. At Colombo, Kuldeep came in as a purely tactical measure, right? Looking at the conditions. Now, my question is, given that tactical move, is it then a good idea? Are you compromising on your strategy then by bringing him in? Of course, if the Chepauk conditions, require a tactical move with Kuldeep coming in, I can fully understand it. But to then change the strategy and say, no, we won't bat right up to 8, we will get in a bowler. Is that kind of changing course midway? Are you concerned about that?
See, I think you have to understand, you have to read the conditions first. And Chepauk is not the old Chepauk where spinners will play a big role and you will get a lot of wickets. You will bowl 12 hours or 16 overs of spin. I remember Afghanistan playing their majority of the group matches where they didn't play Noor. In one of the games, they didn't play their trump card spinner Noor, just because Chepauk wicket has changed. If you'll check the stats post 2023, a lot of wickets have been taken by the Pacers, whether it's domestic, whether it's IPL. And I remember Stephen Fleming in one of the press conferences during the IPL said that we build a squad around the spinners, knowing that our home ground will favor the spin unit of ours, but that didn't happen. It was all that I remember 2024 season. It all come down to Mustafizur Rahman and Matisha Patirana. So this wicket is different. This Chepauk is different, and the conditions with what I have seen so far in the tournament of how the Chepauk has played, I don't think team will go for Kuldeep Yadav, at least for this game. I think they will go with the 3 seam bowling options in Ardeep, Bumrah and Hardik, and then Shivam Dube obviously a 4th seam bowling option, and Akshar Patel should come back. I think Akshar Patel is the only one of the 2 changes that we are talking about. Akshar Patel should come in, and I don't think bringing in Kuldeep. Yes, square boundaries are big, so you can think of outfoxing. Kuldeep is a player who will get you wickets. If you are getting him in, he's a definite match winner. He's a definite wicket taker. But I don't think team will go in that direction because they are not going to compromise on their batting depth.
Okay, so let's go across.
Ashok, just one update on Chepauk pitch. This is a fresh pitch, and this is absolutely pristine. Not a single game has been played on this pitch throughout the season. This is absolutely pristine. According to people in the know, it will have runs. It will be batting friendly, but you never know until the first ball is bowled.
Yeah, in fact, I was going to come to the pitch. We will go into that. But Gargi, I can see a lot of excitement out there. The question that I'm going to take is from Adarsh MV. He's saying Washington Sundar is such a weak link in this gun team. Washington is not at all a T20 player. No idea how he got selected in the 15-member squad is beyond my thinking. Please no Washington Sundar. Gargi, given that he's your homeboy, what is the sense that you're getting? Any reactions?
That's a tough one, huh? But you wonder how. You wonder because Washington Sundar at this point doesn't bring the kind of explosive batting that T20 cricket needs. The only way it makes sense is if you're playing Washington Sundar at number 3 or number 5, where he can anchor the innings. But at this point, they got Washington Sundar's entry point wrong in the last game. At the same time, does he bowl as sharp as Akshar Patel does? Does he bowl or does he get as many breakthroughs as an Akshar Patel does? So how Akshar Patel, or rather how Washington Sundar was picked ahead of Akshar Patel is something I will not understand when we talk about the last game. But I'm just waiting for the toss update. We might just get a mail very soon about the playing 11. Over to you, Ashok.
Yeah, but one quick question. Shomik was talking about the pitch, brand new pitch there. Martin Kite is asking this question: if India wins the toss, which is better, batting first or second? What's the sense that you're getting there?
You'd want to chase. There is due factor here. And this is a fresh pitch, yes. This is not the kind of traditional Chepauk pitch that we all are used to. It's much more balanced. It will give, we are sort of expecting a 200 type of total that may not go over it. But 180 to 200 should be a good total here. It's going to support the batters from the conversations that we've had with the ground staff and some of the members of the association. So it's going to be a good contest. It's going to be a good wicket, as Shomik also said that it is a fresh wicket. And that's the thing. You win the toss and bowl first.
Got it. So Gargi, just keep us updated on the toss and the outcomes. We are also tracking that. Shomik, coming back to you. The way South Africa has finished off this match, they look like clinical finishers. They've emerged as top contenders for this World Cup, is what Nashili is saying. Only way they can be defeated is if they choke. So two questions. One, have South Africa put the chokers tag clearly behind them? But on current form, do they look like clear winners?
T20 cricket, we cannot say clear winners, but they have been the best team of the tournament. Absolutely no doubt. Not always will the best team win, but they have been, irrespective of what happens at the end, they have been the best team tactically, skill set wise, planning wise, and in terms of execution. All four parts. I mean, if you look at the other semifinalists, England have been patchy during the group phase. And I mean, against Sri Lanka, they won 46. They could only manage 146. They came back brilliantly to restrict Sri Lanka for 96. But against Pakistan also, they lost 3 early wickets and Harry Brooks masterclass. Without that Harry Brooks masterclass, and Harry Brooks is a freak, he's a genius. So without that, they might have lost that game. But South Africa are one team that have won hearts through their cricket. And irrespective of whether they go on and win the tournament or not, they are my team of the tournament.
Fair enough. Gargi, do you have an update on the toss? I'm also just checking. Weber, in the meantime, quick reaction. If you win the toss, what do you think India should do?
I think India should bat first. It's a fresh wicket, make full use of the good batting conditions and outbat the opposition. See, Zimbabwe don't have a good batting group. If you'll see, they rely heavily on a Brian Bennett, Sikandar Azan, Ryan Bull. These are the 3-4 batters that they rely on. So I think the wise decision would be to make use of the good batting conditions, outbat the opposition, put a 200, 250 total, and then you have the bowling. You have the class of Arshdeep Singh, Jasprit Bumrah, Varun Chakravarti, the local lad. So you can bundle out the opposition easily. And now the net run rate is out of the picture since South Africa have defeated West Indies net. Now the net run rate is out of the picture. The West Indies India clash at the Eden Gardens will become virtual quarter final. So I think irrespective of whatever happens at the toss, I think India will India won't mind losing the toss as well if they bat first or bowl first, because this is a this Zimbabwe group, they rely heavily on 4-5 players, whereas India have match winners. All 11 of the players are match winners. If I exclude Washington Sundar because of the because of his current form, Akshar Patel walks in and he is a match winner as well. So I think India will would like to bat first on this wicket if they win the toss.
All right, Shomik, quick question. So, what's going to be the strategy, from a Zimbabwe perspective? Who are the players to look out for? Clearly, Sikandar Raza is going to be in the thick of action. Do you think Indian batsmen will go after him?
Sorry to interrupt, guys. We have the toss update. West Indies has won. Zimbabwe have won the toss. Sikandar Raza went out there, and he thinks he said he wants to bowl first. So that's the kind of assessment that we were making as well on this fresh wicket. Considering that there will be dew, the beach is very close to here. So obviously the air has a lot of moisture, and it's been really, really humid throughout the past couple of days. So not surprised that Sikandar Raza went for bowling first, but we still don't have the playing 11. You guys can continue.
Gargi, the comment that he seems to have made is that it's not the usual Chennai wicket. It looks moist. In fact, the playing 11.
I got the playing 11, and it's bang on. Look, Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, Tilak Verma, Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dubey, Akshar Patel, Arshdeep Singh, Varun Chakravarti, and Jasprit Bumrah. We've been saying that this combination will play for the past couple of days, and we got it right. So there we go.
Yeah, spot on, Gargi, spot on. Shomik, quick reaction. So basically, there is no Kuldeep included. Akshar Patel comes back, and Sanju Samson comes in. Tilak Verma goes to number 5. So I think we got the team, the playing 11 spot on. But your first reaction?
First of all, apologies. It's getting dark here, Ashok. So that is the reason why my screen is dark. That was the expected playing 11. And I was a bit surprised that Sikandar Raza chose to bowl first. But as he said at the toss, as you said, as we came to know through you, that the pitch looks a bit moist. Maybe that is the reason why he chose to bowl first. That could be the only reason. But irrespective of that, India are overwhelming favorites in this game, and they should. I expect them to have a walk at the Chepauk Park in this game.
All right, Gargi. Quick question. We know off spinners being employed against the Indian team. Do we expect the India to go after Sikandar Raza from ball 1?
That's the best way to counter spin, Ashok. You need to neutralize it with aggression. And now that you have a left-right combination at the top of the order, that makes things a little easier for Team India and a little more difficult for Zimbabwe. I'm sure they also must have been expecting this change in the playing 11, considering that the management did hint at it a few times ahead of the games. And while it seemed like Sitanshu Kotak did not give anything away, he did. And we read right between the lines, and it seems like it's, he was really pointing at a change in the top of the order. At the same time, I still expect Sikandar Raza to start with the ball. What's needed here is a firepower start from the Indian openers. You've gone throughout this World Cup, and you haven't had a solid start in the power play. Tonight is an opportunity to do that. Last time Sanju Samson played in the team, he scored, while he did not score too many runs, he still scored at a very brisk pace of scoring 22 runs off of 8 deliveries. So if that's something that Sanju Samson can bring to the table, alongside you expect Abhishek Sharma to now fire, and Ishan Kishan obviously has been one of your more consistent batters in the team. So it seems like this is a good strategy, or rather the best strategy that you could go with at this point in time.
So one last question before we let you go, Gargi. What do you think? Sanju Samson clearly is.
Ashok, just I'm interrupting. It's getting pretty dark here. If I may take your leave.
Yes, Shomik. In fact, we can't really see much on the screen, so do take off and watch the match. I'm going to go across to Gargi for one last question. Gargi, while Sanju Samson clearly brought in, and this is what perhaps Satanshu Kotak was hinting at, what do you think would be the messaging to Abhishek Sharma? My worry is that if he kind of ceases to play fearlessly the way he has been, that's not a good sign. It's not in keeping with the strategy. What do you think is going to be the approach there?
Who was the batter you spoke about?
Abhishek Sharma.
Abhishek Sharma. I think you still have a lot of firepower in the team. It was unfortunate that the lower order did not fire in the last game. That is bound to happen in one of the games because not every day someone will come in and rescue the day for Team India. But at the same time, you bat till number 8 and you have good batters till number 8. It's not as if these are batters that go out there and get maybe a runner ball innings or something like that, apart from Tilak Verma, who has been doing that because he's anchoring. But apart from that, you've got a lot of players now who can handle the pressure down the order. Hardik Pandya, Akshar Patel, Shivam Dube, all three of them very capable. Akshar is also capable of building the innings if he has to bat around a Shivam Dube or a Hardik Pandya, let's say, while also giving out intermittent aggression with his bat as well. So this is, the best you could come up with at this point in time. Tilak Verma at number 5, you expect him to not play another runner ball innings. That's what we want to see. That's not what we want to see from Tilak Verma, even though the management has been very in defense of the way that Tilak Verma has been playing. I have this hunch that the reason why Tilak Verma was not dropped in this game was because they've been backing him so much. And it would have not looked nice if the management went on and dropped him in this game. So I think that's also one of the reasons. But at the same time, since he has that backing, since he has that faith, it's time for him to come good.
All right, so time to close the show. Gargi, quick question. In fact, Shailesh is asking Team India 215 runs with Ishan Kishan scoring 100 runs. What's your sense of the kind of score India would like to put up or is likely to put up? I think Gargi's gone off. Vaibhav, let me come to you. Given what we've heard about the pitch, what's your read in terms of the score? Shailesh is saying Team India 215 runs.
As I said a moment ago.
Oh, is that not for
It was
me?
directed to
Sorry,
me.
I'll just go to Vaibhav and then come back to you and we'll close the show. Vaibhav?
Okay, so as Surya Kumar Yadav also said that they wanted to bat first because again a fresh wicket and good opportunity against obviously they have got some good fast bowlers, some tall fast bowlers, big square boundaries. So the challenge will be for the Indian openers to first tackle the first 6 overs and afterwards first you have to understand how the pitch is behaving. It is a flat wicket, but again you have to read the conditions well before projecting any total in your mind. But anything, I don't think it will be anything less than 200. Expect something between 200 to 230.
All right, Gargi, before we let you go, what's your thought, response to this Indian score? 200 kind of an innings? Gargi?
While it is a pitch, it is a fresh wicket that may support 200. I don't think India will get 200 unless Abhishek Sharma is firing at the top. He's able to get you those 70-80 runs in the power play. Then it's a completely different story. But if what has happened in the past 5 games, if that continues to happen, then you're looking at maybe, I think 185, 190 should be par score for Team India.
All right, so there you go. We have the playing 11. Zimbabwe's won the toss and elected to field first. Akshar Patel comes back into the Indian team and so does Sanju Samson. We will keep you updated with all the news and updates from the match, and we'll come back to you at the end of the match with the post-match show. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, Gargi and Vaibhav, and we'll see you post-match.